think about the moment and the task at hand. And here the IBF and the IBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox, the Lion Lewis. He's 7 years ago. He's at his heaviest, but he's at his most focused.
Thunder in Africa. From Baltimore, Maryland in the United States, please welcome Hasim Rahman. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox
Lewis. And Lennox Lewis, different spelling needless to say, sometimes different pronunciation, is in no mood to do anything less, I'm quite sure. The question, Marvin Hagler, has been all the way through the build-up to this, which Lennox Lewis are we going to see here tonight?
Well, what I'm looking at right now is Rodman's kind of dry. You know, he didn't really work up a big...
In better condition.
He looks in better condition. I was surprised at the shape that he's in. But I'd like to see Lewis keep his hands up a little higher, though. Because this guy here, Rodman, looks like he's trying for a lucky punch in the first round. I noticed...
The only mistake in his career has been that loss to Oliver McCall. Very nasty scar on the right cheek of Rahman, but that was due to a car accident some years ago.
Well, Lewis has got to keep that left hand up a little higher because Rahman is still looking for the right. Looking for that lucky right hand shot. See, there's the right hand that I was telling you about. Rahman just caught him with the right hand. And, you know, as you know, Lennox Lewis will try to retaliate that.
Rahman didn't quite have the hand speed of McCall or one or two of the other boxers that Lewis has met, but Lewis now will realize that he has to keep that left up. Better work by Lewis, up on his toes, bouncing confident, 10 seconds to go. Little feint of the right again. Two men who know their business.
Well, you know, one thing that I can say, Brakpan, he sure ain't scared of Lewis, that's for sure.
That first round. Well, Rahman has more than survived the first round and has posed one or two problems for the champion Lennox Lewis.
Well, you know, I felt as though that round was very much even. You know, they both was testing each other out. Nobody really done any real damage. I believe now that all the butterflies are gone now, and they're going to get the show on the road.
Yeah, well, Lewis suddenly stepped up the pace a little bit, and there was real venom in the whole tempo of this contest starting to pick up.
Well, see, this is what I was telling you. Manuel Stewart couldn't wait to get Lennox Lewis back in the corner and tell him that he's dropping that that left hand there. You don't want Lennox Lewis to get too over anxious to fry that.
Has a terrific record in terms of the knockouts. There was a good combination by Lewis.
That was a nice left uppercut right hand, and Lewis is very known for that uppercut. And if he found that he can catch him with that, be trying to take effect on one of the fighters.
Rahman walked onto a very good short left to come forward. Oh, uppercut once again.
Nice uppercut. If he finds that secret right there, and if it's working one time and working twice now, he's going to use it again.
And Rahman now covering him up. He has felt the power of his opponent, and when you feel the power of somebody that big...
Rock don't know how to fight in the inside as far as crossing his arm to prevent that uppercut, and that's what I thought that he was...
Arrogantly and confidently he pushes his man away.
Again, Lewis is looking for that overhand right, and when he throws the right hand, then he's going to bring that uppercut under again.
Decent little left hand from the challenger coming in, and again. So he's trying to vary his work a little bit and trying to confuse Lennox Lewis.
He's actually trying to get him out of there in this round. And you're wondering if, like I said, the altitude is bothering Lennox because he's got his mouth open, and that's a bad sign.
Lewis putting his man on the back.
Well, Rahman has got to put more pressure on Lennox because Lennox is just standing on the outside. See, there's that uppercut that I was telling you about that was very dangerous. He needs to fill that space in there. He's got to cross those arms in the inside.
Round three. And Lewis looking for that big combination again, and for a big man, he has got terrific hand speed. We wondered which Lennox Lewis we would see. Was it the Andrew Galotta away in considerable style? And maybe as a combination, overhand right from Lewis. And there's a bit of bruising around the left-hand side of the face of Hasim.
Again, Rodman's still a dangerous fighter right now because he's jabbing to the
ring. Short right hand inside from the champion. And he's able to tie Rahman up when the challenger comes in.
Exactly, a beautiful uppercut there.
Lewis with his mouth open. Again, the big right hand, but timed it very poorly.
I think that would hurt me.
Rahman very slowly puts his hands up. There's that right hand. Lewis read it very well. Was on the retreat. And then has closed his man down. He really has a nice repertoire, Lewis, hasn't he?
He's doing real well, but the problem that I'm looking at right now is he's got his mouth open. Altitude here.
Left and then a right and then a short left from Lewis. Dropped the left hand, nearly got himself caught again.
That's what I see. Rahman now, the more he's starting to get more confident now.
Lewis started as a 15 or 18 to 1 on favorite.
It's still too early, you know, and I still don't count Rahman out. And Lennox Lewis shouldn't count him out either.
Well, a little flurry at the end of this round shows that Rahman is by no means finished. And to use that old boxing adage, he really has come here to fight.
Well, this is the kind of fight that we was here looking for.
Good little clip at the end from Lennox Lewis.
You know, Lennox seems to have found the distance, as I said. He's getting the right hand in, which was missing in the first round. And he's starting to attack the body, which he hasn't been doing. So, you know, I think it's just a matter of time and patience.
That's a bad move on the side of a fighter. Never back straight back up in the line.
You've got to keep the head moving from side to side every time.
From side to side. Never show your opponent that you back straight back, because he's going to walk right on top of you, just like Lynn is catching him now, probably working on that eye, that left eye.
Good jab by Lewis, and he looks a lot stronger in this round. Oh, uppercut by the champion. Rahman in a little bit of trouble. To be fair to him, he came back, and that right hand of his has come in. And what a great challenger he is.
Rahman said that he's going to make this war.
Lewis trying that uppercut again.
That was nice. That was a nice try, man. Holding and punching behind the head.
Rahman still throwing good shots.
He's got to close the gap in right now with Lennox.
Well, Lewis with the mouth really open, and he's trying to suck in what little oxygen there is here at 6.
Rahman's got to get close in case they... Oh, beautiful. This is what he was trying to suck Lennox Lewis in again to throw the right hand, and he countered with his own right.
I think, to be fair, Lewis just moved the chin like half a... There's a smile on the face of Lewis, but Rahman is noted not just for a good right hand, but a good left jab, and he's getting that through.
Well, you know, Lennox Lewis has been a lot of times 12 rounds in the championship fights. Rahman has been 2 times 12 rounds, and both times he had won in the last round.
Well, a bit of action from that round. And Rahman, the hands held up, and that was a good round the corner left from the challenger. And when somebody that size hits you, you suddenly think, what am I doing here?
253 pounds going inside your head.
Well, at the moment, that wasn't a bad shot right at the end by Rahman.
I believe if I was Lennox Lewis, I would just try boxing this guy and work on that left eye. Close that eye right up.
Not too far away by Lewis.
Again, Rahman staying too far back.
As best he can. He's perhaps a little bit rusty in terms of sheer competition. Lewis looking more confident.
He's looking more confident, but Manuel Stewart, I think, has got him picking his hands back up, not being so much of a fancy dance.
Midway through the 5th, Rahman still there.
There you go.
Wasn't too far away. Whoa!
This is the shot that I'm just talking about. He put that head down and he just lets it go.
Lewis smiles, but he knows it wasn't too far away. Wonderful jab by Lewis.
I think Rahman felt that one. He's going to make him pay for that right hook that he just got caught with. Oh!
Oh, he's got him! He's got him! He got careless and he's got him! Is it Oliver McCall all over again? It is! And Lewis has gone! Lewis has gone! It's another upset of immense proportions. This has been billed as thunder in Africa, and the thunder and the lightning and tempest have washed over Lennox Lewis, and all his titles have gone, and he has only himself to blame. Stunning finish. They knew all about the Rahman right hand. They told him about it. They said, don't do what you did against Oliver McCall. And there, look at Lewis's left hand. It's absolutely nowhere near, and he let it go. Oh, What a shot, what a contact.
That is because Lennox Lewis didn't keep his hands up, and he was backing up. Anytime that a fighter backs up and drops his hand, he's vulnerable for a good shot.
Well, there was serious controversy
Exactly.
when he wasn't allowed to continue against McCall, but there was never any doubt about it. And if anything, that was a better punch by Rahman than the one we saw from Oliver McCall some 7.5 years ago.
Well, I got to tell you something, Jim. When you take punches like that, like with Oliver McCall and now with The Rock, it's very hard for you to bounce back again. I mean, now, also, all the fighters out there now, Lennox is not a threat now. They know if they tag him, he's got to go down.
He threw the best right hand. He threw the thunder in Africa.
This is a massive shock, isn't it, for world boxing?
On the night, the best man won. You can't say no more than that.
How will Lennox take this, Frank?
We'll see after this fight.
Okay, we'll talk to you more a little bit later on, but I've got to ask you at this stage, in the contract it says a rematch.
That'll all be sorted out after. At the moment, I'm
okay, thank you, Frank.
Heavyweight champion